Okay, the next step. You can see we've got everything assembled. We've removed the clecos from the side rail down the bottom, back up to the side rail. The components we're going to be installing next will be the side rails. We'll slide those into the slots here on C, cleco them in along the pre-drilled line, a lot of holes there, so we'll have the two side rails in place. We got the B to C skin laying here. That'll come back, cleco the center bottom hole, just wrap it up to the side rails, cleco it in, pre-drilled holes in the side rail, and then we'll install bulkhead B. We've got everything pretty well clecoed together. We slid the side rails in, clecoed them, like we said, along the fuselage from C back to D. Slid the bottom skin up, put the center bottom cleco in, and then just folded the sides up and clecoed them along the side rail. Bulkhead B is just kind of shifted into position there, but I wanted to point out a couple things that might help you. This skin, when you get it clecoed back here, you'll see that there's a pretty good gap at this radius. Some of that you want to be concerned about, but not all of it. I've put a little line on here to show you where the wing actually will come on to about here, but the fairing covers up to just about this point here. So this gap that's in the back here, you can get rid of that by shrinking that out of there. If you have a shrinker, you can do that, but keep in mind that the fairing is going to cover it from about here on down. None of that will be exposed. Okay, we're at a point now where we've got the B to C skin all clecoed back in place. Bulkhead B is clecoed from the side rail down around the bottom. Just wanted to point out a couple things to be aware of at this point when you start to, after, of course, we're going to take this all apart now and deburr everything, put it back together, and we'll start riveting the side rails in place and the B to C skin. But we've got a little, you'll see a little mark here that we put on the side. That's just to remind me that the instrument cover has to be riveted on here. So I don't want to rivet any of these rivets until after the instrument cover is in place. So I can rivet from there back around the bottom of C bulkhead, and of course the entire side rail all the way back. And then the top of C bulkhead can be riveted in place. One other thing, you'll see some red marks here where you're going to have this issue anytime that you have a transition in angle from the fuselage skins. You'll see this gap or opening. It's just the fact that the skin is going straight and this skin is angling away. A way that we can make this look a lot nicer is we'll shrink from about this point of this area down to about this area. We're going to shrink that edge so that it comes back and tucks back tighter to the fuselage. We're not going to worry about it down underneath here because the wing root fairing covers all that area. We'll just shrink the areas that can be that are exposed, and we'll show you what it looks like after we get that finished. And back One thing we wanted to point out to you at this point is a really good area to check the alignment. Steve back here is going to put a level on the vertical tail post to make sure it's lined up. We've got a level up here across the side rails. And if that's not perfect, there's an opportunity to square it up before you start to rivet. You can see we removed some 3/32 rivets in this area, and by pushing and pulling on the side rails, it allows that skin to shift just within the tolerance of the clecos, or the slop in the holes of the clecos. Once we get it real close, then we went ahead, once we got it on the money, we went ahead and put this 1/8" cleco in place. And that kind of locks it down. So at that point now, we've got it as straight as we can get it, and we can move forward.